Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the Medium in the Middle. On this podcast, I share my journey as a developing psychic medium, as a Reiki master teacher, as an Akashic record practitioner, and anything else that's thrown my way. Hello, Middlers. Welcome back to the Medium in the Middle podcast. My name is Stephanie. I am the Medium in the Middle, and this is episode 178. So this week's episode is around what success means to you, your version of success. I have been thinking about this topic a lot recently. I've been listening to a few podcasts, and I've been changing the way I'm structuring things. And it's all coming back to, what does success mean to you? And what is your version of success, especially for all the small business owners who are listening to this podcast episode. We are so in charge of what drives us and what brings us joy and what makes us feel like we are successful. So I wanted to talk about that today. So we're going to start off with our usual announcements. I have 2 announcements for you this week. The first one is the Advanced Reiki Practitioner Masterclass. I ran this earlier this year, and it is back by popular demand. It is continued education for after Reiki Level 2. So if you are a Reiki Level 2 practitioner from any teacher, you don't have to be one of my students. This course is designed for after Level 2, when you're ready to start working with clients, when you want to master that 60-minute session, when you want to understand energy deeper, this masterclass is for you. I'm hosting it live on Saturday, August 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. So if you'd like to sign up for that, I will leave the links down below. And my second announcement is around my mentorship program. So if you don't know, I host a 12-week one-on-one mentorship development program called Mentees in the Middle. It will be opening again to the public July 6th. So the waitlist is getting applications first. And if there are any spots left, it'll be opening on July 6th. So stay tuned for that. If you're looking for a mentor in the Reiki, mediumship, or business development, those are my specialties. And if you think I'm the right fit for you, put an application into the program. It's just to make sure that we're a good fit. I believe I can help you and that we'd be a good match to work together. So I will leave all that information down below in the show notes, but that will be opening on July 6th. So depending on when you listen to this episode, that might be tomorrow, that might be yesterday, or it might be full by now. Who knows? So this week I again went on Instagram Live and had you guys select what deck you wanted me to use for this week's card pull. And Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle deck was voted in, and it's 2 cards this time. As a reminder, I only have one Instagram at Medium in the Middle, and I will never DM you for a reading, and there are lots of scammers out there, so just beware. In the spiritual community, there is a lot of scams. Don't send anyone money in the DMs. So the first card we have is the card Protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. You are being called to protect your energy and call back your power. May all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events, so it's important to keep checking in. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. Yes, it does. As we go through life, we can give away our power, so it is important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you're being called to call back your power from? Check in on your body now and see what chakra feels like it needs a bit of energetic cleanup. Ooh, I like this card. Protection. Call back your power, cut your cords. Do that energy clearing every single day. Every single day. I will repeat this like a parrot. Energy cleansing is one thing I found you have to do every day. It's not one and done. It's something we really have to do often, especially if you work in energy, especially if you're sensitive, especially if you're intuitive. It is like you shower every day, you do your energetic cleansing every day. Okay, and the second card for us this week is the card Priestess. How are you being called to set up and lead? The Priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually in this thing called life together. Oh, this is so sweet. This is literally my podcast. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first, and stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward too. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it's because at some point in your life you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were and are, and might only be a step behind you. Yes, 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 yes. Hell, they may even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up. Embrace your struggles and the peaks. You don't need to know the way, just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. Ooh, I like this, the Priestess card. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. The work your light inquiry for this one. How are you being called to step up and lead? How can you be the leader you wish you had? Guys, just a short, quick mentorship moment here. How can you be the leader you wish you had is how I built my entire business. How can I provide the information I wish I had? How can I be the leader I wish I had? How can I provide you the information I wish I had? How can everything that I provide is things that I wish I had, wish I knew earlier, wish I didn't take me 2 years to figure out. My entire business is built on that statement right there. How perfect. I like this. Priestess and protection. What a good message this week. So let's jump in to this week's episode, which is your version of success. What is your version of success? And if you don't know what your version of success is, I highly suggest you take some time to figure out what that means to you. And maybe this podcast episode will help inspire you to figure out what success means to you. Because I feel like the word successful, we instantly think of dollar signs. We instantly think about money. And there's probably a certain number in our head that means successful. But there's a lot of changes going on in my business currently. And my business just turned 3. And in year 1, I worked every single day. It was COVID and I had nothing else to do. So I literally worked 7 days a week. Every about 6 weeks, I'd need a day off. Every about 3 months, I found I would need maybe 2 days off. But I did this for about a year. Then I realized that I couldn't do that anymore. And in year 2 of business, I started to take 1 day off a week, Mondays. But Mondays turned into the catch-all for the week. So if I didn't have time, if I was trying to squeeze someone in, if anything needed to be rescheduled, if I was doing a podcast interview, if I needed to do something for work, it was an admin day. So I worked on Mondays. I just said it was my day off. Then in year 3 of business, what just passed, I protected Mondays as my day off. And I was like, you know what? I don't do work on Mondays. I say no to things. I don't reschedule. I don't book calls. I don't book anything on Mondays. And it's been like that for about a year. And I've just been finding the words in my mouth recently are, I can't, I work. Or, I can't do that, I work. Or I work. I don't have time off, so I work. And even my friends have been saying, like, I know you probably work, but do you want to do this? Can you go to this? Can you make this happen? And I realized that I'm only getting older and I need more days off. So my new goal for the fall is how I can structure having 2 days off. Not every week. We're starting right now with every other week. But my version of success has changed. So it used to be a certain amount of money a month. Then it was a certain amount of money a year. Then it was, more money than that. Then it was more money than that. And now it's just like, okay, now that you have the business is going, you're making the money, you're doing the thing, what are other things in life that are going to make me feel successful? And now for me, going into year 4 of business, I don't want to say balance because I'm not there yet, but it's more time off to live life. And one of my biggest things for me that makes me feel successful is having full control of my schedule. I can say yes or no to anything that goes on my schedule. I decide when I start work, stop work. I am in full control of my schedule. And the second biggest thing for me that helps me define like what success is I don't wake up with an alarm. I don't even remember the last time I had to set an alarm. Pause while I think. No, I don't remember the last time I had to set an alarm. I can wake up at any time I want. I mean, I wake up around 8:30 every day anyways, but there is no rush for me to get out of bed. I usually get up at 8:30, I lay in bed till 9, and then I'll get up, make a coffee, and start work. But I don't take clients till the afternoon. It's fully structured. So not having to wake up with an alarm is kind of my number one priority and my version of success. But now it's shifting into 2 days off and time off and making plans and buying tickets to things. I just recently went to a Blink-182 concert on Friday, and it was the time of my life. And I was thinking, like, why don't I do this more often? Like, I used to always go to concerts. I used to love going to concerts, going to see live music, getting tickets to things. It's like, when you're younger, you do that all the time. And now, what am I saying all the time? Oh, I can't because I work. Oh, I work. Can't do that because I work. Oh, I don't have 2 days off, so no, I never go to the city. No, I'm not in Calgary often because I only have 1 day off a week. And I was just thinking to myself, like, ew, at the things that I'm saying that I am fully in control of changing. And the fun thing about business and running your own business and creating your own small business, and I know a lot of my listeners are small business owners or you have a hustle on the side, is that you get to decide what success means for you. I've worked with a lot of mentees where they just want 2 Reiki clients a week. If they had 2 Reiki clients a week, they would be so happy. They got to do a little bit of something that they loved when their kids go to sleep. I've had people who want 25 clients a week, and that's their version of success. I've had people who have a dollar amount, a completion. Success can mean so many things, but I feel like if you don't know what you're chasing, you'll always feel like you're never there. You'll always feel incomplete. And I also want you to know that when things start to feel off or not complete or like you're itching for something else, it probably means your version of success is changing. So this was all sparked by a podcast I was listening to where they were interviewing billionaires and they kind of said like, what changed? Like, what did the money change? Like, you have houses and you have boats and you can travel and you have money and there's like, money at this point is no longer even an issue because you're a billionaire with a B. But like, how do you find value in life? Like, what's important to you now? Because clearly it's not money or shopping or the boats. And the billionaire was talking about how now it's all about experiences and the money makes it easier to have the experiences. So yeah, the boat is nice and the private chefs are great, but it's about the whole family being on the boat and everybody being there making core memories. And they just were really talking about core memories, and it made me think like my core memory for the last 3 years has been building a business, which I love and I cherish and I adore and I work so hard for. But I need to also remember to make core memories in life outside of my computer screen and my phone and this podcast. And there needs to be more than just work sometimes. So again, that's changing for me now. And I'm like, you know what? 2 days off every other week might be nice. Being able to go to BC for a weekend might be nice. I don't have to say no to every single thing I'm invited to. I'm only getting older. And I think it's interesting that we don't wait for these things, we create them. Especially when you are a small business owner, no one else is going to create time for you. No one else is going to tell you what success means for you. No one else is going to make you feel successful or say certain things. So I wanted to bring this to you on the podcast to get you thinking about what does success mean to you. And if you instantly go to $100,000 a year, or if you instantly go to a dollar amount, I would challenge you to pick 5 things that means success to you. Okay, number 1 is money. Okay, number 2 is time. Okay, number 3 is freedom. What else? What are the things that are going to make you feel fulfilled, happy, and make it feel like you want to do this forever? Because I'm just getting to the point now in year 4 of business where I'm like, ooh, I want to make sure I can do this for a long time and I don't get burnt out. But too much of a good thing is still too much. So as my version of success is changing and shifting to more time, more core memories, more time off, finding balance, shifting how much money is enough money, how much work is enough work, how much do I really want to give, how much do I want to give to myself, how much can I give to others, how much can I work, how much is important to focus on me, all of these questions that are running through my mind, I want to ask you those same questions. What is your version of success? Because sometimes I ask this to people and their answer is, hey, I want 2 clients a week. Perfect. Let's focus on getting you 2 clients a week. And then how easy and happy will that make you? If you're just doing Reiki for a few hours every week and that's what your version of success is, amazing. If your version of success is you want to practice a mediumship reading once a week, amazing. As soon as you know what it is, then it's easier for you to achieve and focus on and work towards. My new version is I want 2 days off more often. Every week does seem excessive right now, but more often. I want to be able to do things. I want to be able to say yes to things. So how do I fit that in my schedule? Well, I made this decision back in May, and I put it into my schedule starting in August. That was as soon as I could do it, but still. So starting in August, every other weekend will now be off. So I challenge you, whether or not you have your own business, this will apply to you, because even if you're working for someone else, the only version of success cannot just be money. It cannot just be a dollar sign. Trust me, making 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 isn't all of a sudden going to make you happy. There's going to be a bunch of learning curves that come with money and having more money and what you do with that money and buying things. Do you not buy things? Do you go on vacation? Do you spend more money on vacation? How do you spend that? Like, the limiting beliefs around money will always be there, and then changing your beliefs around money is hard work. So don't let money be your only deciding factor on what success means to you. To me, it's no alarm in the morning. It's full control over my schedule. I can say yes or no. I can work, not work. I can open appointments up. I can close appointments up. And then, yes, of course, money, monetary goals are always there and always encouraging and helpful. But that's not the only thing anymore. When I first started, it was like, I want to make this much money. When I make this much money, I'm successful. Now it's like, okay, what else do I want my life to look like? How else do I want it structured? What do I want my day-to-day to look like? And if I said, hey, you could make $1 million a year, but you have to work from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week, would you say yes to that? Because you got to sleep and you got to shower. So from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. you're working, you have 1 day off, you're probably exhausted, but you have $1 million. So if the answer is no, you're probably not chasing money. You're probably chasing things that come with money. Time freedom, control, life experiences. Because a lot of those things you can do without money. You can still travel on the cheapy cheap. Yeah, you might not be in the luxury hotels and you might not be eating fancy dinners, but you can still make it happen. So this is just things that are going in through my mind as I move into year 4 of business. I also mentor a lot of people in their business, and I see this a lot, and it's just something to get the wheels turning, get you thinking. So, what is your version of success? What does success mean to you? I hope this podcast gets you thinking. But that's what I have for you this week, Middlers. Thanks for being here. If you haven't already, please leave the podcast a rating and a review wherever you are listening. It really helps the podcast grow. Maybe send this episode to someone who needs to reevaluate their version of success. If you haven't already, subscribe. I release new episodes every Wednesday. I will leave all the links down in the show notes for you. If you want to book in for the advanced Reiki training, That will be down there. My next level 2 is at the end of July. That still has a few spots left. And the next level 1 course is in September. The one in July and the 2 in August are sold out, but the September dates are out if you are looking for Reiki level 1. But until next Wednesday, Middlers, when I see you in your ears, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye, everybody.